Parents, do you have kids? Do your kids have teeth? Do you want your kids to have teeth for a long time? Okay, today we're going to talk about sealants, the importance of sealants. Um, Sealants is just a little coat that we apply on teeth, and I'm going to show you. But Jessica's going to ask me a few questions about what the majority of the community or people ask questions about sealants. You know, they have no idea, so we're kind of trying to question answer session here. So, you know, normally kids from age 6, you know, they start having their permanent teeth come in at age 6, usually 6 to 7. And so what the permanent teeth are, like the molars, they've got grooves, and you know, there's a lot of anatomy in the teeth. And so the idea of sealants is that just making sure that, you know, those grooves are sealed, you know, so you put a little coating to make everything smooth, so when those kids eat, you know, there's nothing sticky that's going to be feeding bacteria for a long period of time. All right, so that's kind of the basic of sealants. What questions do you have for me?
Is a sealant the same thing as a filling?
Good question. So typically sealant is a coating that's applied as a preventative action. In other words, for a filling, you have to have an actual cavity. So when teeth have cavity, then we kind of drill out the cavity and then fill them. So that's filling. Sealant, we're not drilling anything. We just go ahead and edge the surface, make sure everything's clean. And ideally, I would like to use what we call like a powder, just to clean the surfaces, like it becomes nice and clean, so that the sealant can actually stick very, very well on the groove and on the surface. So the difference is, like, sealants are done on a healthy tooth without a cavity, but fillings are done when there is an actual cavity.
Oh, okay. Should I ask the dentist to put sealants on my child's teeth?
Absolutely. I mean, usually, you know, when you take your kid to the dentist, and that's what dentists are trained to do, would be just talk to you about what could be done, what should be done. And so typically, you know, when a kid comes to my office, you know, I would, you know, take x-rays, do exam, get them cleaned, all that, and then I look at the teeth if they have a bunch of grooves on their permanent molars, and I talk to the parents. I was like, hey, it would be very, very beneficial for your kid to have sealants on. In the long term, it will save you money. You know, do you want to save money? Yeah.
Of course I do.
If you want to save money, your best option is going to be seal those teeth. You know, typically, if they're done right, they will last. The sealants will last for a while. You know, so that's that.
Will it hurt to get a sealant?
No, typically, like I said, you know, so sealants, we're not numbing, we're not doing injection, we're not doing anything. All we're doing is just cleaning the tooth and then just sealing it. So there's nothing, no needle involved. So sealant is probably the least invasive, or the least procedure that's like the most comfortable thing.
Okay.
That's that.
Okay, will sealants make my teeth feel different? What do they look like?
Sealants actually look just the color of the tooth. So if you look here, for example, you can kind of see, you know, so they can vary in shades a little bit, but you typically like a little white blend into the tooth, and that's that. I mean, nothing weird about them. I mean, like I said, they do look, especially the sealants nowadays, they look very much, they blend in with the tooth, so you can't even really tell.
Oh, nice. How long are they going to last?
If they're done right, as in done right meaning, you know, if there was proper isolation on the tooth, no saliva, contamination, I mean, sealants can last anywhere from 2 years to 9 years. That's kind of what the study says.
Okay, and last, where can I get my child's sealants?
Well, quite frankly, like I said earlier, if you take your kid to the dentist, to any dentist office, they should be offering this information to you. You know, ultimately, the dentist's position is to provide you with information, and ultimately, the parents is that they have to decide. They have to get informed about what's possible for their kid. So I would rather, I mean, I have a kid. You know, I'd rather have my kid have sealants on early on, then and you get cavity, and the kid goes through a little bit of trauma, drilling, scared, and all that. So you'll avoid any of all, like the fear, the financial, and in the long term, a tooth that has a sealant is a lot more stronger than a tooth that has a cavity long term. So potentially a tooth that has a cavity will need to be drilled and filled, and those fillings don't last very much. So study shows fillings last maybe a couple of years.
That makes sense.
Any other questions?
I think that's it.
So cool, awesome. Well, I just, like I said, this is like an informative session that I would like to give you, just so that way you're informed. So when you go to a dentist, you should be asking those kind of questions. If your dentist is not providing you with information about sealants, about any other preventative care, you should be asking them, just to kind of get your kids possible options.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Adios.
Adios.